What's up guys, Triple C here. So Cunning Stunts was released and we're doing all the stunt tests. We're testing all the new supercars under stunt readiness as Rockstar described it. Today we're going to be testing the ETR1. Yesterday I did a test on the RE7B which failed the stunt test. So we're going to see how this one does on all kinds of stunts. What we're doing is we're comparing it to stunts which we know work well in the cars that the stunt racing community uses for stunt races, which are the Osiris T20s and Torno. We'll just test it on generic stuff, so no dummy-proof specific stunts where it would obviously fail because it wasn't built for that car. So it's all just generic stuff. And then after that, we're going to see on which categories it failed, on which it passed. Basically, from all the new supercars we got, like I got this one and I still got the Tyrus to test tomorrow. But since Finance and Felony, every single one of the supercars epically failed the stunt test. Like none of these vehicles were stunt ready. So I'm just hoping that this one will do better and that we'll finally get some good results out of this. Also, disclaimer again, if you're watching it for the first time, I don't care how it performs. I'm just going to do a factual test and give you my findings. So I really don't care. I'm not emotionally invested because I spent money for it or anything. I've don't have a stake in this, so please, if the result is not what you expected it to be or would have liked it to be, please don't take it personal, because like I said, I really don't have a stake in this and I don't care what the outcome is. I just care for a factual result. One more thing, I am testing it on traditional stunt races, on types of stunts that the creative community was building, because like I said in my video yesterday, those new track races from Rockstar, there's nothing I can really test it on there or compare it with, because these are just like all tracks, the tubes, these huge loops, you can't fall off them. The physics are different in there. It's almost impossible to fail a stunt. So we have no benchmark to test anything on in those. That's why I'll be testing it on stuff that you guys are used to from regular stunt races, wall rides, spirals, stuff like that. So yeah, let's jump right in the test and see how it does. Okay, first test, like on the other ones, horizontal container wall rides. And again, if you've been watching my previous videos, the question is not can it wall ride, because any car can wall ride. You can do this in a Panto, in a Casco, doesn't matter what. You just need some speed and you'll get up on that wall. We're looking at other stuff here. How does it hit the dummy proofing? What kind of traction does it have in the wall? Does it lose its view? How responsive is it if you steer? Does it steer harshly right away, or is it a bit more steady in the sense of the steering? You know, stuff like that. That's what we're going to be looking at. And like obviously, I've never wall ridden this car yet, so I obviously have to get used to it too, so. Okay, but not bad. It is definitely responsive. It reacts immediately when I steer, and more than I personally like, but definitely went through there very smooth. Camera was okay. Much better on the dummy proofing than the RE7B, which we tested yesterday. The car didn't smash up against the dummy proofing, it didn't go up on it, so that was definitely positive, promising in that sense. It is rear wheel drive though, so on other stunts we'll have to see how that does. Yeah, no, but definitely good for wall riding, definitely. Nothing you can say. Except for like that, and that's personal preference. Oops, exited a bit high there, nice finish. Like that's just personal preference, you know, like some people like sensitive steering on walls, some people don't like it. Me, for example, I don't really like that on horizontal walls. I prefer cars like that handle similar to the Entity or 811 for that matter. But that's just personal preference. Just from the main factors we're looking at, and that we're looking at the other cars too, definitely passed the test and did very well. Okay, next up we got ascending wall rides. We'll take it from a respawn like with the other cars, accelerate from here. Now this is going to separate the men from boys. We do have rear wheel drive, which will make this very hard to keep that power. But these are incredibly quick and powerful cars, so let's see how it does. No, I'm losing power. I lost power, shit. And yeah, I'm not used to steering. I'm just playing it for the first time after that horizontal. I definitely already saw we are losing the power. It's getting slower and slower, and that's going to lead to us losing our view. And that's the rear wheel drive issue again. Like I said in a different video, stunt ready vehicles should have all wheel drive to get that traction in the stunts, which you just so desperately need, you know. So come on, let's steer this right now this time. But you know, we might not. Let's go check it out. But I mean, all the telltale signs are there already. Yeah, and we're blind. X80 style. Yeah, I kind of wait. I mean, by luck I got through there, but I mean, not going in first person. Talk to any serious racer or any serious stunt racer in this game. You can't play in first person. You have no sense of where your car is. You can't control it. I dare anybody that tells me a spiral or a wall ride is easier in first person, go play something like Hypnotized Minds Volume 8, that spiral from Cambo, or other hard challenges. You will not get through them in first person. Like, ask any good racer on this game. Nobody from the pure racing community or the good top stunt racers, nobody does them in first person for a very good reason. So that's not the issue. And like I said, I'm just comparing it to other vehicles. The Osiris, the Zentorno, the T20, they go through here with full speed. They don't lose any power. You have a beautiful traction, and they just stay up there, and you don't lose your camera view. This car does, so it fits. Next up, we got a barge spiral to overhead wall ride to spiraling down again into a wall ride. That was the big backside of the barges. Okay, I'm going to accelerate from the respawn. So let's see how it performs on this one. Again, this is one where we're going steep up, so rear wheel drive might cause issues with the view. Yep, we're blind. Failed. So yeah, like you saw, wait, I'll just jump off here and do it again. Like you saw there, we lost our view. Comparing it to cars like Osiris, T20s, and Torno, they do not lose their view. You have a full view of your car during the entire time, because they don't lose here. I'm totally blind again. Because the other cars don't lose their speed, basically, that power. They're all-wheel drive, and they just stick to the thing and keep accelerating. They keep their grip. This one doesn't. With the rear-wheel drive, it loses grip and it loses power, which in turn causes you to lose your view. So failed. Next up, King JMK loop. Any car can do this. Only car that failed up to now was the X80 PROTO. So let's see how this one does. It connected late. Yeah, okay, it passed. It did connect. But there also, I just felt how it lost speed going up that ramp. But yeah, it definitely passed. It acted differently on the exiting the loop there. It definitely got knocked out a bit differently than other cars because it connected very late to the wall. But I mean, that might just be like dummy proof specific in that sense that it reacts different to it. But definitely passed as expected. Only car that failed this up to now was the X80 PROTO. Next up, we got container spirals. Exactly the same race I tested also the RE7B on yesterday, or other cars for that matter. Wait, I got slowed down here because of that stupid checkpoint glitch which they added. Like, checkpoints don't register anymore if you go over them. Okay, so let's see how it does on the container spiral. Yeah, okay, it got up there, but it was struggling. The thing is, this car, because it's incredibly slow in first instance, and that's basically something that is not helpful in these types of stunts. You want it to go immediately and really get that grip, and that's what this one doesn't have. So let's go in there slow again. Like, this would work no problem with a Zentorno, or I'm not getting it from that low speed going in there. So definitely better options than Torno, T20, Osiris would all make this. They would grip to the spiral immediately and accelerate on it. And this one just doesn't get up there with the rear wheel drive. So yeah, basically, come on. Nah, I need to go in there with speed, otherwise I'm not getting it. Like I said, Osiris T20s and Torno, they will get it at low speed, so they are definitely better options. Same thing as with the RE7B yesterday. If you're used to these types of stunts, now I'm going in quicker. If you're used to these types of stunts and you know your lines, then you can definitely take this, you'll get around. But if you're not used to these types of stunts and you struggle on these, I would definitely recommend taking, probably Zentorno would be best, because you can go so slow. Once you hit that accelerator, it immediately grips and just gets up there. So it definitely passed the test, it can do these, but there's also definitely better options for people that are not very experienced on these types. Like I said, if this is not your day-to-day race, what you're used to and good at, I would definitely recommend a Zentorno or an Osiris in a spire like this. Okay, next test. Next up, we got the crab slide. Like I said, I mean, a stunt-ready vehicle should be able to do this. These are just being built in so many stunt races, so I would expect the stunt-ready vehicle to do a crab slide. Let's see if this one does it. Interesting also, like what that yeah, you can see exactly that's just rear wheel drive here. Okay, went a bit short of that jump. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Yeah, this also four-wheel drive would have gotten up there because the front wheels would have done the job in that instance. Okay, let's go. Yeah, what I was gonna say, I suspect that the center of gravity of the car plays a large role in these crab slides. So let's see what this one does. Ah, nice, nice. So yeah, the first supercar we're testing since the Finance and Felony update. Every car failed this. This is the first one that passed the test. I'm really happy about this. The first supercar. I still got one to test, by the way. But every other car failed this. This is the first one that didn't fall on its wheels, that actually stayed on its side and connected to the other wheels again. So really happy about that. Passed the test. Okay guys, so we're actually extending this test now. This is something I didn't test on the other cars because they couldn't even stay on the side. They went on their wheel right away. So we're gonna actually see if this one rolls over and connects to the other wall again. No, it doesn't, but actually it stays on its side really steady. Okay, like stays on its side, and actually the only two other cars that do that, okay, dummy proof didn't work. Actually the other only cars that do that is the Adder and the Infernus. Like for a regular crab slide where you just want the car to stay on its side, basically Adder and Infernus were the most consistent. They just stayed on their side. Okay, let's see if I can force it. No, I'm trying to roll it over manually. Okay, yeah, it did stay on its side, but kind of the front veered out to the side a bit. So yeah, for just a regular crab slide where you want to stay on your side, it definitely works. Very steady, actually, to my surprise. So very big plus on that. It won't roll over though. Apparently the only cars that still do that are the Osiris T20s and Torno. Alright, next test. Okay guys, last ultimate test, like in the other ones, Freaky League's Huge Loop Racing number 3. We're in a make or break situation here. Let's see if it gets up there, if it maintains that power, that raw energy to get up that loop and stay connected to it. As with the other ones, we're accelerating from the respawn here. Alright, let's go. I'm losing power now already. No way. No way, man. I mean, it didn't. Oh, shit. Epic fail. Epic fail. I'll give it one more try, but the outcome won't be any different. And again, we've got that rear-wheel drive problem. Incredibly quick car on the track, demolishes all the other supercars in a pure racing situation, but not on stunts. Anything that's ascending, this thing is going to struggle. Oh, I gotta register the stunt cam myself. No. No chance. No chance at all. Yeah, pity. So yeah, in conclusion, guys, did it pass the test? I say it semi-passed the test. There was some stuff it did. We had a big positive surprise with the crab slide. It unexpectedly, it stayed on its side really, really well on that one. It did good on the wall rides, on the generic stuff like King, JMK loop. Anything where you're going uphill, where you need power and traction and acceleration and maintaining that speed, it failed miserably. So I'd say, like, if you know what race you're gonna play, if you know what to expect, then you can definitely take this car on certain types of races. If you're on a stunt playlist where you don't know what races are coming up, what types of stunts, I'd not recommend this, because then you might set yourself up for failure, because there's just too many instances where it did fail. Like I said, anything ascending, this is two-wheel drive, and it cannot get up those things. It just loses speed. So semi-passed in a way that some of the stuff it did and some of the stuff unfortunately couldn't do. Our benchmark is the Osiris T20 Zentorno, because if we're going to compare stuff, we need a benchmark. And those three cars, the Osiris, the T20, and the Zentorno, they will do all of these tests I'm doing here. They will do them without a problem, without blinking of an eye. You know, it's no problem at all. So that's our benchmark. So far, we haven't had a car that. Got the feeling that's slowing down. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No. Yeah, it slows. It's also a new finding here. It slows proofing, or it might just be the two-wheel drive. But this again, this is an Osiris T20 Zentorno race, a stunt race, and those cars just get through there easily without. You get it first try. You don't have to steer. It's all dummy-proof. The guidance props will guide you through. This car doesn't maintain that power, so. Call it semi-pass, call it failed or partially failed, whatever. It doesn't. It won't compete with the T20 Zentorno in the sense that it can do all this stuff reliably, and that's basically what we're looking for in these tests. We're just looking, like, in a racing situation where you're in a playlist where you don't know what you're expecting. To have a car that's reliable and that will do the stunts, and this one wouldn't be my first pick. I'd maybe take it on certain types of races where I know what to expect and I know the car will do it. Wait, let me steer up a bit here to not hit the road as much. Yes, okay. So yeah, steering required. This is actually a no steer stunt, but with steering I did get through it. Let's see how it does the flip. Yeah, flip work, nice. Okay, wait, let me respawn here. But yeah, anyways, like these cars, the three new supercars, they actually, they destroy, like pure racers on this game, like people, the best racers on this game are saying they destroyed the supercar class because they're just so dominant in that class. It basically means that the whole class has become totally unbalanced. If you don't have this car or the RE7B or the other supercar, you're basically not going to be able to compete. Now with stunt races, this is a different case because those cars actually on the track they will be quick, but on the stunts most of the time the 7 REB will fail all the time, basically almost anything. This car also only on half of the tracks it passed, so it's a difficult choice as a stunt racer. You'll always have that trade-off to make. Will I choose one of the new supercars because I can just blaze through the track quicker and just pass all the other guys on the track, or will I just take a car that's reliable on the stunt? Like I said, if you're in a playlist and you don't know what's coming up, this is definitely not your first choice because there's just too many things it can't do. Like I said, big surprise with the crab slide there. That was really nice to see. I'll definitely try and build something for it because I did build one for the adder once, which just went on and on. It was 14 containers and just stays on site so beautifully. So yeah, we got one more vehicle coming up. I'll test that one tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We'll see how that one does on stunts. But like I said, call it semi-passed, semi-failed. It doesn't live up to the standard in its whole because all the other cars, T20s and Torno, Osiris, they all make all of these stunts without an issue. This one only made half of them basically. So yeah, stay tuned for the next test. I'll check you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.